Yesterday, I did a video on the Trump the second assassination attempt, and a question came in response to that. The comments: why can't we protect these candidates for office better? Well, this particular candidate for office, and that's what we're going to get into today. Hope your day's off to a good start. Let's get right into it. A couple factors have really changed in the world today when we talk about protecting people, especially people that are in a public space, especially those who are running for high office, such as President of the United States. Opportunity, motive, that's the thing we have to look at today. We also have to look at numbers, and that's the first thing I want to talk about today. We had, well, when I was born, there were 150 million people in the United States. There's about 350 million people in the United States now. The law of large numbers tells you that the risk of something happening is greater just by the fact that there's more people out there that might be disaffected by what they hear, which brings me to number two reason. We have social media now that really puts ideas into people's heads and really gets people revved up when it comes to politics. I've lightly touched on politics a little bit in my own channel and have been surprised how true, right? Some people get really worked up about it, whereas, I've always tried to take a middle of the road, being an independent and in the middle of the road view. But I'm surprised compared to, say, decades and decades ago, how invested people are in the process now compared to the way it was maybe 3 or 4 decades ago. The third and most important factor here is that when you have the motivation to do something, you have maybe 6, 8 people protecting a president or a presidential candidate, a vice president, today in the Secret Service, the basic core. And then you have a shell of intelligence around that, okay? And it's very important to realize that they have to have a lot of situational awareness, the Secret Service, and their job is huge, right? When you get into a rally with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people, and you're having it in, say, in an open air venue, or maybe the former president is playing golf in Florida, and you have a rather large property, there's a lot of perimeter, there's a lot of area to take care of there. And it makes it exceedingly difficult to forestall somebody that's really determined to take a shot. We've seen this through history with, assassination attempts against President Ford when he was in, President Reagan was shot. It's just, and Trump was, they attempted to assassinate him once in Pennsylvania and a second time in Florida. It's really hard to stop somebody who is this mentally focused on executing somebody's basically what we're talking about. And they reach a point in their thinking, as twisted as it might be, where they just judge it doesn't even matter. Even if I get taken out, I've already resigned to the fact that I'm probably going to be a goner anyway, so let's go for it and do it in a major way. It's very hard criminally to protect yourself against somebody that's so criminally deranged or so drank the Kool-Aid so much that they feel the need, they feel compelled to step in and do something like attempt to assassinate a public figure. It's a very telling thing in America today, but I think it's going to be a fact of life going forward. My big fear is that someone will step forward and be incentivized now to try to take a shot at the vice president now as she is on the campaign trail. I would not be surprised, as horrific as that sounds. I pray that does not happen in this country and that some of this lunacy will end. I'm not really so sure, because with social media really gassing everybody up in this election, we've noticed since the birth of social media that things have become more and more revved up, gassed up in terms of people's emotions and feelings. when the reality is the person that does eventually occupy that seat and is inaugurated in January of 2025, it's probably not going to materially change our lives a lot because, well, there's really not a lot really in actual fact that differentiates the parties today. Okay, there's my take on it. I welcome your comments down below. Do you think it's easy to protect a public figure these days? Difficult things. Look at the way the concerts and now people are throwing things on stage. It's concerts and interacting with performers and things, and performers f-bombing people. We've never sort of seen this social this discourse of this. I don't want to call it hatred, but just this. Just this willingness to strike at somebody, especially a public figure. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. As usual, thanks so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. Yes, there's a lot of vintage audio gear behind me. That's part of the channel here, as well as fishing and crabbing and metal detecting and, well, the variety channel, right? It still exists on YouTube right here. Please subscribe and be a part of that. And once again, thanks so much for watching. Thumbs up.